Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back to show off some more plunder that I have acquired here recently. Yesterday I got a huge package from one of my favorite eBay sellers, Mad Rush Media, and I actually got a couple packages in the mail today. So I figured I'd do a little video showing off that stuff, and I'm going to show a few things that I actually got from a couple other places, including Half Price Books first, and I'm actually going to show off a couple tapes. Now, this first tape, I was really excited to see when this was announced for pre-order because I've been after this album for a long time, and I think this is actually the first time this has ever been put out on tape. And it's pretty much one of the best melodic death metal albums out there. I mean, right up there to me with At the Gates and, you know, that kind of ilk. But this is Eucharist with A Velvet Creation. And this was put out by Dread Records here recently, limited to 100 copies. Really excited to own this. Comes on a nice smoky tape there. And this actually has Daniel Erlandson from Arch Enemy in the ranks. So that was actually what originally got me to check this band out in the past. So nice little J card there. I'm hoping now that they've put this out and there's been a big response to this, that somebody will get the bug in, bug in their ear, or the, kicking their ass to go ahead and reissue this on CD, because I would love to have a CD copy of this, but it is nice to at least own it in some format. Next up is a band that I actually discovered when I just recently subbed to a guy. I cannot think of his channel name off the top of my head, so I'm so sorry about that if he happens to see this. But he was playing this in the background, he was showing it off, and I was just like, that looks interesting. I mean, I really like the logo, the cover art, and checked out a few songs from it. I was like, okay, I've got to pick this up. The band themselves didn't have any copies, but I went on the site for their label, Rotted Life, and picked up a copy. This is Hollowed Idols with Morbid Ascendancy. Again, really awesome artwork there. And I love the tape. It's going to look yellow on the camera, I'm sure. This is a nice kind of toxic looking green tape, or neon green tape if you will. And good look at the artwork and the J card. Cool little picture there on the inside. So yeah, really solid death metal. Definitely check these guys out, give them some support. Alright, next is the few that I found at the Half Price bookstore that I don't get to as often as the other one. And this first one, I couldn't believe I saw this in here because this is just a more recent Dark Descent release. And this is Ataraxy with Where All Hope Fades. And I haven't replaced the case to get the stickers off there because sometimes the stickers they put on here are a pain in the ass to get off and they leave residue. So I had to pretty much replace everything. So yeah, definitely looking forward to giving this a listen. This next one was a total blind buy. I just kind of looked at the artwork and everything. I was like, huh, this looks interesting. And I looked them up, found out they're like a doom death band. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. For $6, I'll take a shot. This is Evil Spirit with Cauldron Messiah. Again, really cool artwork there. Put out on, looks like Terror Hell Records. Never really heard of that label before, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking that out. Excuse me one second. Sorry about that. Somebody decided to call right in the middle of recording everything. That always seems to happen, I swear. Anyway, moving on from doom death to some power metal. I know you don't see me show power metal very often on here, and I don't really seek it out that often, but I kept seeing this band and this album thrown around. When I saw it in the Half Price books, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. It looks really cool. This is Seven Kingdoms with Decinium. Again, really awesome artwork. Really dig that logo. And I thought, you know, it's worth a shot for as cheap as this is. So I've got it down here, of course, to show off in the video, but got the day off, so I'm spending the day listening to some tunes. So this is in the playlist for today. Next up is a band that is kind of a mixture of members from here in Indiana as well as Illinois, and the disc actually came from Illinois. I actually just got this in the mail this morning. This is Wraith with Heed the Warning, and this is some really cool kind of thrashy speed metal. vocals are very raspy, almost blackened to an extent, in my opinion. Discovered these guys just by searching for Indiana metal bands in their band camps. I just happened to come across this, and I really dug it. They threw in a cool little sticker, so I had to put that to use. So yeah, definitely check those guys out if you're into kind of blackened thrash or speedmo with really raspy vocals. I think you'll dig it. Alright, the last bit all come from eBay. This first one came from a different seller than the last stack, but this is one that I've been after for quite a while. Of course, recently you saw me kind of praise Dee Snider's new solo album. And of course, I've always been a big fan of Twisted Sister, and I've been trying to go back here recently and pick up all his other solo projects and things like that. One of them, though, Desperado, is becoming a real bitch to find because everybody that has a copy of that one album that they put out is wanting way too much money. Even the reissue that got put out where they renamed the album and all this other bullshit is going for too much money. So one of these days I am going to find a good copy of that, I hope. But I did find this one for a decent price. I actually paid $24.50 for this, which I know sounds like a lot for a used CD, but again, this is out of print, hard to find, and most people want an arm and a leg for it. But this is Widowmaker with Blood and Bullets. Yeah, I cannot wait to spin this here in a little bit. Al Petrelli is actually playing guitars in this project, so that's really cool. And this, you know, there is a hole punch in the barcode, but I really don't care. The rest of this is pretty much mint. Put out through Esquire Records back in 92. So this is quite an old album. I'm really happy to have this. Their second album, Stand By for Pain, I seem to find that quite often in the used section, but this one has never popped up. And like I said, I think I actually got a really good deal on it compared to what other people want. All right, the last little stack here all come from, again, my favorite eBay seller. And I've actually bought from this guy from Amazon, too, because that's actually how I discovered him. Mad Rush Media. The dude is got a killer selection of metal, and all of his prices are postage paid in the U.S., so whatever he shows you, that's all you pay. And what's cool is, like, if you just, instead of doing buy it now, if you, like, end up adding to your cart and you get, like, 5 items or more, he knocks $5 off the total price, which is really cool. First up, though, I got this for, I think, $6.95, and it looks pretty much brand new. This is Diabolical with Synergy. Again, really awesome artwork. And these guys are like a black and death metal band. I want to say they are Swedish. And I actually discovered them years ago. I found one of their albums in the used section. I thought it looked cool. Picked it up cheap, really liked it, but I kind of forgotten about him until I saw this on his page and decided to pick it up, especially for that cheap of a price. This one, I actually picked up, I originally checked it out just because Eric Rutan did the production work on this, and I don't know, I'm becoming big into Eric Rutan's, not only his bands that he's in, the material he's put up, but also checking out a lot of his productions that he has done, because he does a really good job being a producer, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, this is Into the Moat with The Design, and I can remember seeing this floating around. Moat, float. Anyway, before, just never really wanted to check it out, but after seeing that Eric Rutan actually produced this, I decided to give it a shot. Liked what I was hearing from it. Got it really cheap. I think I paid $5.95 for that. Also picked up a replacement copy for my signed one of Hatebreed's debut, Satisfaction is the Death of Desire. And this is actually a different version than the one I got signed. This is actual jewel case edition. So really happy to have a jewel case. My other one was like kind of like a cardboard case with a light blue rigid spine, or tray design, or whatever you want to call it. This one was one of those, do I really need it per se? Is it very, necessary to have this in the collection? And some would say probably not, but it was really cool to find. I just really need to get their 2 full-length albums replaced, because I got them both signed when I saw Hatebreed and Crowbar. But this is Kingdom of Sorrow with Led Into Demise. And this is just kind of like a 3-track promo EP. This basically features 3 songs off the debut album. And still yet, I wanted to have it in the collection. I'm really hoping here at some point I get to see both these bands live again, and I can get that signed. Okay, the last two were definitely the more expensive of the lot, and I really didn't like paying that much for a used CD, but these are both really hard to find, especially for good prices. And this first one is the self-titled debut from Into Eternity. I finally completed my collection of them. This one, I was spinning it yesterday, and it definitely sounds quite different to me than what came after this. But I really liked it, and what's cool about this is actually the Russian pressing of this. So on the back, it says, this CD must not be sold outside Russia, CIS, and Baltic states. And it actually has some Russian writing on the back. And what was interesting is that the price that I paid for this is actually the minimum price, starting price on Discogs for the regular DVS Records version of this. And this particular version, I think starting out goes for like $70. So I got a pretty good deal on that one. And last but not least, again, completes my collection for this band. And I'm surprised this is not easy to find anymore. This is the Christianize by Vital Remains. Nice slipcase here. I mean, it's seen better days, obviously, but the CD itself is in pristine condition. And I was spinning this yesterday. Sounds really awesome. Really glad to finally have that in my collection. So, yeah, that is going to do it. I've still waiting on a couple things in the mail, but overall, that's pretty much all I got to show off right now. And I'm sure I'll be getting some more plunder before you know it. I'm always going out raiding used stores and music stores and online distros, so you just never know what you'll find. So, yep, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.